We are honored to announce that the Altadena Historical Society will officially archive our recent town hall alongside every episode of Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. This is the show of record, the definitive source for tracking Altadena's roots, resilience, recovery, and reunion. These stories will now live on for students, scholars, researchers, and journalists seeking truth and legacy in the months and years to come. Because history isn't just made, it's honored, it's recorded, and it's passed forward. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
When you're with someone who's always reactive, it messes with your head. You start second-guessing yourself. Am I the problem for wanting affection? For trying to be playful? No, you're not wrong for wanting connection. You're not wrong for wanting touch, laughter, affection, the stuff that makes a relationship feel alive instead of transactional. But if every time you reach out, you get attitude, distance, or a cold shoulder, it's not because you asked for too much. It's because they have nothing to give. You can't force warmth out of someone who's emotionally frozen. You can't create playfulness where resentment lives. And if you're constantly trying to get a different reaction, you're already trapped in a cycle you can't win, because real connection isn't something you have to trick someone into. It's either there or it's not. And if it's not, no amount of patience, kindness, or creativity will change that. You're not crazy for trying. You're not needy for wanting. But you're going to have to be honest with yourself about how long you're willing to keep reaching for someone who keeps pulling away.
Here we go. Dogman strikes again. Andy likes that little dog cartoon, man. I love it too. How's everybody doing? The voice of reason has returned to KBLA Talk 1580. You already know I have a great conversation lined up for you. I've been speaking with a clinician, and we're talking about how human beings are hardwired. Yes, human beings are hardwired for attachment. Connection. Attachment is connection. Connection is attachment. If you want to debate me, fine. Let's fight about it. Right? But the reality of it is, I think we have relationships inverted. Because if it's based on bonding and attaching, then it has to be based on wanting, something that is missing, right? This sense of I'm incomplete without this particular person, right? Or my special person, how do they say it now? My person, they say that. Listen, I think, and like I said, psychology is something that I am enthusiastic about. And, but I do believe that psychology, as long as it's just rooted in the scientific method, will miss some of the spiritual nuance. And I think that's the crossroad that psychology is at, right? A lot of the forefathers of psychological concepts and theories, a lot of those theories are under review, right? And what's interesting is we were talking about the role of, fulfilling someone's needs. Oftentimes those needs are born out of some parent that was misaligned in terms of emotional attunement, right? So the partner then becomes the parental supplement to give what wasn't given in early childhood. The partner becomes almost another type of parent to continue the work of the parent. And then typically we go into relationships in an unconscious way looking for this type of connection. And so you guys know I'm a big fan of a writer. His name is Robert Anton Wilson. He has a book called Quantum Psychology. I got it in the 90s. I read it about 35 times in the 90s. I rediscovered it a couple months ago. I've been reading it again, and I'm just like, yo, this is what I'm talking about. And what's interesting about him, he's like a literary anarchist. And the Quantum Psychology book is so powerful, right? He said every science should have neuro at the beginning. The term neuro should be at the beginning. Why? He says because of how our central nervous system is set up, everything that we look at is subject to what made us, right? And he's talking about neuroscience, right? He said everything that we look at, even in physics, right? He said we should call it neurophysics because our perception actually warps the reality of what we're looking at. So he's amazing with this. And it lines up with what I'm talking about. So I came in and said, no, we're going to call it neuro-relating, right? Everything is filtered through the mask. The mask was created in childhood, right? Something happened to all of us in childhood that caused us to not be our authentic self, right? Where there is a breach in the primary caregiver-child relationship, there will be created a need. Where there is a need, there is lack. We have a scarcity-based mindset when it comes to relationship. My partner's going to complete me. My partner's going to finish my parents' job. My partner is going to give me what I need. Relationships aren't real until you become what you need. Then see who you attract into your life. Tonight's topic, needs whisperer. Neuro-relating, I never knew you, and you never knew me. A deeper look at how we only connect with each other's conditioning, the model of the home, the model of the education or lack thereof, the model of the parental dynamics in that house. Was there violence? Was there stonewalling? Was there avoidant communication? We model that I never knew you. I've only known your conditioning, your coping mechanisms, your defense mechanisms. That's all I've known. Neuro-relating. He's saying when we look as theoretical physicists, when we look into the world, we look through the perspective of being a flawed human being. That's why he said every science should be called neuro whatever the science is, right? Look at now, take that same concept and apply it to relationships. I never really knew you. And don't act like people haven't said that when another aspect of their partner comes out and they go, who are you? We've done it, right? A deeper look at how we only connect with each other's conditioning. An intriguing look at relationships through the lens of Robert Anton Wilson's quantum psychology. In this topic tonight, Needs Whisperer, a deeper look at neuro-relating. We're going to try to unravel the complexities of human connection through the unsettling lens of Robert Anton Wilson's quantum psychology. This exploration challenges our understanding of relational dynamics, positing that we often only engage with each other's conditioned mask, right? That hurts. Leaving true individuality suppressed and unrecognized. From the genocide of soul making perpetuated by DSM diagnosis to the shadows of trauma minding and spiritual bypassing, we confront the unsettling truths of our psychic landscapes. Do you see? I'm looking for somebody to fit my wounds, not my soul. I haven't healed my wounds, so my wounds need a chaperone. My wounds need a caretaker. My wounds need a Benson, a Mr. Belvedere, an Alfred. My wounds need a butler, right? And if you capitulate to the demands of my wounds, you're a good partner. Do you see? Do you see? We're going to invite our leaders or our listeners to confront the unpalpable truths that disturb the comfort of conditional relationships, igniting a radical reconsideration of what it truly means to connect. The reason why I'm having these types of conversations is very important because I am living with all of my human counterparts, and especially here in America, especially amongst the African American community, we are adopting anti-spiritual concepts like love is not enough. Love is transactional. Love is a verb, right? Even in Pamela is in the chat right now. She said all relationships are conditional, right? What creates the condition? Right? What creates the condition? If you go to a good therapist, they're going to tell you, they're going to dig into or lead you to dig into your early upbringing, your childhood experiences. And I'm saying love becomes a myth when wounds are allowed to run roughshod all over your life. The genocide of soul making, how DSM diagnosis erases individuation. Neuroimaging studies show depression correlates with heightened limbic sensitivity. The limbic system is part of that old brain activity, right? To existential meaning making, right? Foucault's biopower, reborn as Big Pharma's pathologization of spiritual crisis, right? Individuation as bipolar. This is heavy stuff tonight. Jung's Red Book, visions recast as psychotic episodes, silencing the psyche's language. This is deep right now, right? This is deep. I'm telling you, when people say, oh, relationships, I just want to be able to chill. Even Andy was like, man, it's deep, brother. Sometimes I just want to watch the game. Well, that's what we do. Because looking at ourselves uncovers all of this, right? Really digging into ourselves. And isn't that what relationship is ultimately about, it's really not about Netflix and chill. Even though Netflix and chill is fun, it's amazing, but it's really not about that. Quantum narcissism, individuation as cosmic solipsism. What is solipsism? Solipsism is a term that basically says whatever I think is the truth. Right? You hear Raquel Hopkins is out there telling people, and rightfully so, she's out there telling folks like, the feelings aren't reality. Feelings are like waves. You let them rise. Listen, the key word was let. You let them rise. You let them crest. And then you let them subside. No, many people are basing the reality of another person based off of their feelings, based off of their emotions. That's what solipsism means. What I think is the truth. Now it's turning into what I feel is reality. Do you see? Quantum cognition research suggesting self-focused intention. Listen to that. Quantum cognition research suggesting self-focused intention collapses relational wave functions. In other words, the probability of the relationship being something more. It collapses it into a reality. You never dated me. You never loved me. You never connected with me. You connected with something that was familiar to what you've repressed. Your coping mechanism found a soulmate. Jung's collective unconscious weaponized into new age reality creation. Robert Anton Wilson talks about reality tunnels. I was raised this way. I was brought up this way. I went to school here. I work here. This is what my degree is. Who are you? You've never even met yourself. Because there's parts of yourself that need to be integrated into mask and shadow. You don't want to do that because it's hard work, dark night of the soul stuff. Right? So you create a reality tunnel to live in, and you have to maintain it. Escape, or what do you say? One escape after the other. When I come forward, I'm urging you to get on the phone because I want to talk to you. The Voice of Reason is live Monday on fire yet again.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. If you missed our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall, the Altadena Eden Fire, 100 Days and Counting, you missed an evening of reverence, reflection, and reality.
You gotta live in the reality because this is it. Every day. You wake up, is this my life? Don't stay in denial, because yes it is. Don't stay in bargaining, where you're praying for a miracle, and if it wouldn't have happened, then this is what I would have done. It did.
Our panel participants kept it real. Really real.
I think, number one, it's amazing to me how we ignore systemic racism in our community, and as a people, we've apologized for so much, but when will we stop apologizing for what we have paid for? Because the truth of the matter is we paid for this.
You can always count on KBLA Talk 1580 to give it to you straight, no chaser. When you love folk, you tell them the truth. Seeking the truth, speaking the truth. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
1455 Frazee, San Diego. CordellCordell.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now, I assume you have all read something by me or you wouldn't be here, right? And whatever you read by me, you probably encountered the term reality tunnel. This I got from Tim Leary. He coined the word reality tunnel. I always try to remember to give him credit for it. Some people are beginning to think I invented it because I use it so much. There are other terms in various branches of social science: glass, grid, set, system of abstractions, model, paradigm, and so on. Reality tunnel I prefer because it's the most poetic and vivid. And the basic law of quantum psychology, in my book of that name, which is for sale in the bookstore upstairs, and in all of my other books, I keep coming back to this point. Every one of us lives in our own reality tunnel. We all create our own reality tunnel, different than anybody else's. You just saw a practical demonstration of that. Everybody, out of the infinity of possible oral signals that could be detected a different collection of oral signals. There were no two of you that were in the same room. Now, there's another variation on this experiment, which I often do, is have people describe the hall outside the room, and no two people are ever in the same hall. They always describe, there's no two people that describe exactly the same hall. So it's not only oral, it's visual too. But let's just see, among those of you who heard things he didn't hear, let's just go around the room and get some of them.
The air conditioner.
The air conditioner.
Also, there's vibrations.
Vibrate too.
And the fluorescence?
Fluorescence, yes.
I heard you sniffling.
Sniffling, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, I loved the great Robert Anton Wilson. I'm telling you right now, you guys should go get his book if you want your mind blown. Quantum psychology, he is on point. Instead of neurophysics, we're into neuro-relating. My reality tunnel is relating to your reality tunnel. Early childhood experiences create the reality tunnel. So, am I dating you, or am I dating the forces that made you? Do you see? And many of us do not understand. We were all born to a work in progress, a whip, right? So the whip conditions us for survival, right? They're broken. They have their own issues. So now I have to survive. So in my survival, I create coping mechanisms. Coping mechanisms have needs. Not you. The coping mechanism has needs. So I believe now in relationships, I am forced to meet my partner's needs. We never sit down and say, where did the need come from? No, we try to pathologize it and say, you know what, needs are normal and a good partner is supposed to meet yours. No. Why is scarcity normal? The need indicates something is missing. Do you see? Oh, we all thrive and yearn for connection. When were we disconnected? Do you see? Oh, we're going to have a good time today. We got callers on the line. Listen, when I come forward, the voice of reason is going to the phone lines. We're already all over the country. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Former First Lady Michelle Obama says she fears for immigrants and people of color under Trump's deportation policies. In a new podcast, she warned about biased decisions being made without due process and says the lack of protection for vulnerable groups keeps her up at night. Home burglaries have surged 450% in Altadena, California's Eaton Fire Burn Zone, a historically black area, while rates in Pacific Palisades stay steady. Residents argue security efforts remain unequal despite more patrols. Nearly 900 measles cases are confirmed across 10 states, mainly in West Texas. The CDC says cases have tripled this year, with the black community hit harder due to lower vaccination rates. And Alexis Herman, the first black U.S. Labor Secretary, has died at 77. Chosen by President Clinton, she served from 1997 to 2001 and was a strong advocate for diversity and youth engagement. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
When the flames subside, who ensures that the stories endure? At KBLA Talk 1580, we're committed to preserving the voices that shape our community. We know people have short memories, and as long as this Black Talk radio station is on the air, we will not let Altadena be forgotten. We are honored to announce that the Altadena Historical Society will officially archive our recent town hall alongside every episode of Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. This is the show of record, the definitive source for tracking Altadena's roots, resilience, recovery, and reunion. These stories will now live on for students, scholars, researchers, and journalists seeking truth and legacy in the months and years to come. Because history isn't just made, it's honored, it's recorded, and it's passed forward. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cordially invite you out to the Comedy Connection series, where comedy meets connection. You're gonna laugh, but you're also gonna learn. The long-awaited collaboration, where comedy collides with connection. It's your brother Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, KBLA's own. I'm teaming up with my friend, the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're gonna host this comedic relationship roundtable series live at Inglewood's iconic Miracle Theater. May 31st, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't wait around. Get your tickets now. Join top comedians Ron G. and Kevin Tate, along with clinicians Dr. P. Pacoya McCall Robinson, along with my friend Christopher Johnson, PhD. Trust me, this is something you don't want to miss. It's unique, it's funny, and it's insightful. Think therapy meets punchlines. Tickets are selling faster than a bad first date. You better grab yours now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-652-1714. That's 800-652-1714. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-652-1714 or go to republictaxrelief.com. All
I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. With so many shows on our station weekdays and weekends, it's hard for me to keep track of all the guests who are actually in studio on any given day. I wish I'd known in advance that LADA Nathan Hochman was coming in studio for a recent interview. Had I known, I would have loved to have personally greeted him and then asked him why LA City Council member Karen Price is being criminally prosecuted for allegations of misconduct similar to the conflict of interest violations for which former City Council member Kevin De Leon is only being fined. What's that about, Mr. DA? In fairness to Mr. Hochman, it was former DA George Gascon who actually filed felony charges against Councilman Price. I opined then on how these criminal charges against Price did not pass the smell test. I was concerned then that this was yet another wayward prosecution of a high-profile black elected, not to mention a waste of taxpayer money. I am even more convinced now that this is a hot mess. To be clear, neither you or I want a bunch of self-serving, greedy, conflict of interest criminals managing the people's business inside LA City Hall. But we also don't want selective or targeted prosecution of black politicians. We've seen that movie before, and we don't need a sequel. It's hard to watch Kevin De Leon get away with paying an $18,000 fine for repeated ethics violations, what he calls an oversight, and at the same time, watch the DA's office continue its criminal prosecution of Karen Price for issues allegedly involving his wife's clients. Motions, I might add, that were passed unanimously by the LA City Councilman. What are you saying, Tavis? I'm glad you asked. D.A. Hockman did not start this inquisition, but he certainly has the power to stop it. I have said it before, and I will say it again. Fundamental fairness. In the absence of fundamental fairness, we experience a cascade of deteriorating conditions. The erosion of trust, the weakening of social cohesion, alienation, marginalization, the legitimacy of authority diminishes, cynicism and disengagement grow, and ultimately, people abandon civic participation altogether. Fundamental fairness, Mr. Hockman, that's all we ask. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
So your nervous system does not have a radar for good vibes. It can't tell you who's safe and who isn't. Not in the way that we speak about the nervous system today. Do not confuse, or we have to stop confusing regulation with recognition. Just because your body feels calm around someone doesn't mean they're healthy for you. It might just mean that they're familiar, and familiar isn't always good either. Now, here's where it gets tricky. When something challenges you, like vulnerability, conflict, boundaries, being seen, being misunderstood, or trying something new, your nervous system might respond with anxiety, panic, or even shut down. That doesn't mean it's unsafe. It means your system doesn't know how to hold that experience yet. It's not danger, it's discomfort. But if you've never practiced tolerating discomfort, your body will treat growth like a threat. Your nervous system isn't wise. It's programmed. You're the wise person. It will react to public speaking like it's a lion. It will treat emotional intimacy like it's a trap. It will keep you in survival even when it's time to stretch. You cannot build a life that expands you if you treat every internal reaction like a red flag. And regulating your nervous system doesn't mean avoiding what's hard. It means staying present when everything in you wants to run. It means building tolerance. A lot of y'all I've seen in the comments, you talk about distress tolerance. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So I don't want you shrinking your life so that nothing activates you. So no, your nervous system isn't always right, but it can be retrained. That's what capacity is. Not just feeling safe, but knowing how to keep going even when you don't.
Raquel Hopkins out here shooting from the rooftop, man. See, do you see? And if a person doesn't do the work, all the stuff she outlined, right, as a threat, that's who you're dating. This is where needs are coming from. Do you understand? We have to lean into the possibility, to the ideation that relationship, love is spiritual. And when you're dealing with the spiritual aspect of relationship, when you're dealing with consciousness, everybody wants to throw the words around high vibrational. Let me tell you something. The higher you go in vibration, the less you need. The less you require. Do you see what's happening? I never knew you. You never knew me. I was dating your conditioning. I was dating your coping mechanisms. Do you see? We've never been free enough to see enough of our true selves, to be able to even venture into what it actually means to be in union. I know people don't want to hear it put that way, but this is the reality. Somebody in our damn relationship, somebody in the relationship is the Messiah, is the Savior for most people. I don't know what I would have done without you. I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't met you. Yeah, you would have had to do that damn work. Here we go. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Pamela from Detroit City in the building. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yeah, what up, though? This is some good stuff. Okay, so I have human services, social work, and studied psychology as a background, working currently with those who have substance use disorders. Okay, so I train the people who work with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is so good to me. Like, this is just juicy because I'm 54 years old, been close to marriage twice. Glad that I didn't get married the last time. And I shared with my friends because I would have been, now he would have been great. He would have been feeling wonderful about his wife. But
you,
I would have been unhappy.
Yeah, let's get down to you. I would have been
unhappy.
Why?
Yeah, I would have been unhappy. And my happiness is important. And me not settling and sacrificing and doing all of the Brady Bunch things that I thought that I was supposed to do and checking those boxes of what a wife needs to be, which didn't include me.
You didn't want to perform wife. You wanted to be wife.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
I'm listening.
Right.
Yes. Come on.
And so when I think about my journey as a 54-year-old Black woman in America with these Native American features as well, dealing with a dark mother who despised light-skinned people but had them, right?
Color
the
conscious.
Conditioning, the conditioning of how I felt about myself came primarily from her. And I grew up in a two-parent household and all the, wonderful white picket fence things that we were supposed to have. But what I lacked was personal identity because I wasn't allowed to have it.
Right.
So everything was based on making sure that we kept the family looking good. You look good when you go out. You present yourself a certain kind of way. You speak a certain kind of way. There were things that I wanted to play the drums, and Mom said, no, that's for boys. That was something I wanted to do. But, there were many things. People talk about the strength of a Black woman. Well, we've been fighting boys since the first grade.
Come on. Yes, I hear you.
Yeah. So we are conditioned for toughness. We don't have time to cry. You go back out there and you beat that bully up. So our protection was limited. And so as we date, many of us, and I'm going to say myself, and I had a father that was protective, uncle and brother, they are all deceased. I feel unprotected in this world. And so I sought that in men who were not capable of providing that.
Keep going, because you're cooking right now. You
and
got the floor.
I realized it. Yes, sir. So I realize it, and it's unfair to me to project those needs onto him. So they are deceased. They're all deceased. So when you have protection as a woman, especially a woman of color, you can relax. There are certain things I don't have to take care of. So I know, my brother's going to take it, or my daddy's got it, or my uncle's got it. So I had that privilege because it was a privilege. But I also am not protected as a 54-year-old woman. I don't have a husband to protect me financially. I don't have a husband that can protect me spiritually. So you know what? I got to do it. So, and I don't have time for people playing in my energy.
Stay right
because
there.
what
Wait.
I don't need
Stay
is
right
another
there.
job.
Stay right there. Stay right there. She said she ain't got time for people playing in her energy because she don't need another job. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere, Pamela from Detroit. Pamela from Detroit just jumped from the free throw line with a blindfold on and did an East Bay double pump reverse two-hand dunk. When we come forward, we going back to Detroit.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
No warrant, no key. Fly privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside.
Don't say a thing.
Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
Ready to order.
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The Comedy Connection series featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number because Ray, he's going to text it live and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now let's talk about healing. Those survival roles, those masks,
They were necessary at the time you were in an unsafe, toxic environment. They protected you. They kept you safe. But now it's time to slowly peel back those layers and reconnect with the parts of yourself that you have abandoned or stuffed away. And one way to start this journey is through curiosity. Pay attention. Notice when you're putting on one of those old masks or resorting to an old behavior. Are you saying yes when you really want to say no? Are you avoiding conflict when speaking up matters? Are you suppressing your thoughts, feelings, and emotions to keep the peace? These small moments, they're clues. They're opportunities to ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I need? Another powerful tool is self-compassion. It can feel overwhelming to look at all the ways trauma has impacted your sense of identity. But remember, this is not your fault. You did what you had to do to survive. That's resilience. Now you need to give yourself permission to be gentle as you unravel these old patterns. Healing doesn't happen overnight, and that is totally okay. Praise yourself for being resilient when you had to be. Talking to someone, journaling, connecting with supportive people, these are all ways to start getting to know yourself again. I did that myself. It's getting to know the real you, not the one shaped by fear of survival. There truly is power in healthy relationships. Healing your inner wounds, it allows you to build healthier connections with yourself and with others. And it's a process that can be both challenging and beautiful, because beneath all of those roles, there's you, whole, deserving, and worthy of love.
So when are you ready to meet the unencumbered you? The you without traumatic shackles, right? The you without the shackles of disappointment. The you without the shackles of yearning. That's what a need is. Let's keep it a buck. A need is lack. That's why you need it. We gonna have a real conversation? Let me tell you. The way out of it is to become what you seek. The great Rumi said, what I am seeking is also seeking me. That's the same thing as relationship is a mirror. That's the same thing as a man seeketh in his heart, so is he. Do you understand? Somebody taught us relationships wrong. Why? Because we are born into a broken container. The first major breakup must be the breakup of the creator of the container. You model them, their shortcomings, their secrets, their communication style. You model them. That's your first breakup. But because you never broke up with them, because you love them and you're attached to them, do you see? You carry this fulfill my need ideation into adult relationships. Yes, attachment wounds. Yes, attachment wounds have their specific needs. And typically it's a need that was created when a primary caregiver didn't give it to you. Come on, let's get her back in here. Pamela, come on, get back in here.
You don't even know how my spirit just leaps. It just leaps. Right now, because I feel that this is a place, and hopefully other people can be helped by this. But you know, I've been loyal to a fault. I was trained that way. No matter what happens in our house, we keep it in our house.
That's right.
Even if it's abusive. And so we think about culture. You know, I see things on the internet and people are trying to hit kids and do all these things, but it's so normal to us culturally that we don't even realize that it's abuse.
Wow.
We don't even realize it because it's that disconnection, because we're so used to it. We think that it's normal when it's not. So when I shared that, I decided to parent my child differently. 28 years old, young man, graduated from college, no children, just got married last year. I was a single mom. And I never expected to be a statistic. I never expected that. And I never expected for him to be one. It is about our mindset.
Yes.
And even if we grow up, I grew up with my mom and my dad, and I also realized that a double mom and dad in the home can mess up a kid just as much as
Come
as
on.
a single parent.
Come on, Pamela, keep cooking.
You just got two different places to draw from in their instability.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is confusing for a child.
Right.
And so you grow up and it's like, well, I know I don't want love to look like that.
Right.
But you don't know what love should look and feel like because nobody really taught you that. So as, you're out and it's like, I'm not a bad looking woman. I'm attractive and I've been for a long time, but I was craving as a young lady that attention, like, oh, he's paying me some attention. Oh, he thinks I'm pretty. Well, now he'd say anything.
Right.
But as a child, I didn't know because no one taught me. As a young woman, I didn't know because no one taught me.
Right.
As a middle-aged woman, it didn't just magically come because I turned 32. Things started to be revealed because I needed some help.
Right.
I needed help. And, but I love this. I love this space.
Help with what, though?
Go ahead.
You needed help with what? What did you need help
I needed help with finding myself.
Come on.
So one of
Yes.
One of the things I had to do was step out of the church.
Ooh.
Now, people don't want to hear that. But I was. What's wrong?
No, we riding with you. I'm the passenger right now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I had to step out of that conditioning because that conditioning was teaching a religion in a way that wasn't me being connected with God, but me being connected with the church norms. So what's normal in the church. And it was the same thing at home. So this is how you act at home. This is how you act at church. I didn't bit more know anything about God, but I went because I was supposed to go. I knew how to act because that's how I was supposed to act. But I didn't have a personal spiritual connection until later on, and I started understanding. But even in that, a lot of that was driven by guilt. So it's like you get up, you go to church, you got to do what they say. Yeah, you sing, you need to be in the choir. Even though I didn't really want to, it was something that, you got to do the things, you put your money into play, all the things that
church
makes you a good Christian. But I didn't have a relationship with the Creator.
Wait,
Pamela,
just stay right there. Don't go nowhere. There's one more commercial. We started the new hour. I'm telling you, cooking so. Listen, you're cooking so well. Emerald Lagasse is jealous. Bobby Flay is jealous. The Iron Chefs are jealous because you're in here cooking. Stay with me, Pamela. When we come forward, more from Detroit.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Former First Lady Michelle Obama says she fears for immigrants and people of color under Trump's deportation